Welcome to Sleep with Myth. Close your eyes and let the world fade away. Tonight we drift beyond time, where gods dream and stories remember their light. Before the first dawn warmed the world, before shadows knew what it meant to vanish, before day and night learned to take turns upon the sky, the sun god lived alone in a realm of eternal radiance. His name was Orion, a being of pure golden fire, a heart forged from the core of the cosmos, a light so bright it filled the heavens with endless glow. There was no dusk, no dawn, no passing hours, only light, light that shimmered, light that roared, light that breathed. Yet Orion was lonely, for in the eternal blaze of his domain, nothing cast a shadow, nothing could hide, nothing could step out of sight or surprise him, and so nothing could be new. Orion walked the radiant fields, if walking was what a god of flame did. His steps left trails of molten gold that cooled instantly into smooth, gleaming glass. His voice echoed endlessly across his bright kingdom. "Is there nothing else?" he whispered to the burning wind. "Nothing beyond myself?" The wind answered only with shimmering heat. Orion sighed. "If everything is light," he murmured, "then nothing is truly seen, for even gods crave contrast. Even gods crave mystery. One day, or what would later become day." Orion paused near the edge of his gleaming domain. There, the golden plains ended abruptly, and a region of strange dimness flickered like a wavering veil. A boundary, a threshold, between his eternal light and something other. Orion stepped closer. The air rippled, and before him appeared a figure he had never seen before. A being made not of radiance, but of calm shimmering glass. It reflected Orion's blazing form perfectly. Every flame, every spark, every movement, but softened, gentled, stilled. Orion froze. "Who are you?" he asked. The figure tilted its head. "I am what you have never known," it said. "A boundary, a shape, a reflection." Orion blinked in surprise. "Reflection?" he repeated. "But nothing reflects my light. Nothing withstands it." The figure smiled faintly. "I do." It raised a hand of liquid crystal. Light bent across its surface, forming contours Orion had never seen. Shadows, edges, shapes within shape. Orion gasped. What are you?" "I am the mirror," the being replied. "Born where your light meets what lies beyond it." Orion stepped closer, flames flickering in fascination. "I have lived in endless light," he whispered. "I have never seen myself." "Then look," said the mirror gently. Orion leaned forward, and for the first time in all existence, he saw his own face. He stumbled back, startled. I am not what I imagined." The mirror nodded. "No one ever is." Orion studied himself again. The reflection shifted slightly with every motion. Subtle, graceful, mesmerizing. "So this," Orion murmured, "is what it means to be seen, and to see," the mirror added. Orion felt something new flicker inside him, something unlike flame. "Will you stay?" he asked. "I am bound to the edge of your light," said the mirror, "where your radiance meets the unformed world. But I can teach you something you have never known." "What is that?" The mirror smiled. "How to shape light into day." Orion's flames crackled in confusion. "Day? Yes," said the mirror. "Light that moves across time. Light that travels instead of simply existing. Light that changes instead of staying constant." Orion frowned slightly. "But why must light move?" "Because," said the mirror, "what never changes cannot be appreciated. What never dims cannot be understood. And what never rests cannot be loved." Orion felt the words settle deep into him. He looked at his reflection, perfect, bright, but unmoving. "What must I do?" "You must allow a part of yourself to diminish," the mirror said. Orion recoiled. "Diminish? But I am light." "And so you will remain," said the mirror softly. "But if you dim enough to create shadows, you will give the world something you cannot see in your own brilliance." "What is that?" "Contrast," the mirror answered. "Balance, and the possibility of something new." Orion hesitated, then closed his eyes, and for the first time in eternity, he gathered his flames inward, condensing, softening, reducing the endless blaze. The heavens dimmed, the radiant fields cooled, the world exhaled. A long shadow stretched for the first time across the glowing plains. Orion gasped. "What is this?" The mirror stepped beside him. "A shadow," it whispered, "the first ever cast." Orion touched the darkened shape at his feet. "It is peaceful." "It is," said the mirror. "And where there is shadow, light can move. Light can return. Light can rise and fall." Orion opened his eyes slowly. "Then teach me," he said. "Teach me how to shape my light into day." The mirror nodded. "Then step through me," it said gently, "for within reflection lies the shape of all things yet to be." Orion took a slow breath, then stepped into the mirror, and the world changed forever. Orion stepped into the mirror, and for the first time in all creation, light passed through something. He felt himself stretch, bend, divide, and reform, all without pain. His golden flame rippled like liquid sunlight as the mirror enveloped him, its shimmering surface pulling him into a realm made not of glass, but of possibility. Shapes emerged around him, shadows that were not dark, reflections that were not true, outlines that existed only in potential. The mirror's realm was neither bright nor dim. It was balanced. It was the border between what was and what could be. "Where am I?" Orion whispered, his voice echoing with a soft resonance. "In the space between your radiance and the unformed world," said the mirror, its crystalline shape appearing beside him. "Here, we can teach your light to move." Orion lifted a hand. His flame blurred at the edges, shimmering softly. "My light behaves differently here." "Yes," the mirror said. "Here, your radiance can learn shape, direction, and gentleness. Orion's flames flickered uneasily. Gentleness is not what I am. The mirror smiled faintly. It is what you must become, if you wish to create daylight. The word glowed in Orion's mind. Daylight, a version of himself that touched the world not all at once, but in a traveling wave. Show me, he said. The mirror extended a delicate crystal hand. Look! Orion followed its gesture. Before him rose a sphere, formless at first, then shimmering into clarity as the mirror shaped it. A world without color. A blank canvas. An orb waiting for meaning. This, the mirror whispered, is the world you will illuminate. Orion stepped closer, awe building within him. What must I do? Cast your reflection upon it, the mirror said. Orion frowned softly. My reflection? Yes, a gentler version of yourself. A light that does not blind, but reveals. Orion hesitated. How do I split my radiance? Try, said the mirror. Shape your flame. Bend your brilliance. Let your light have direction. Orion raised both golden hands. His light, once uncontrollable and immense, now flowed like molten gold. He pushed it outward slowly, letting the mirror's realm guide him. The golden radiance formed a beam, then softened, then spread. A thin ray touched the blank world. The moment it did, color bloomed. Soft gold spilled across the sphere's surface. Mist shimmered like faint silver. Ancient seas glowed as if waking from slumber. Orion gasped. It moved, he whispered. Yes, the mirror said. That was the first morning ray. Orion's flame flared with emotion. I created dawn. You created the first shape of dawn, the mirror corrected. But dawn must move, rise, fall, return. It must become a cycle, day to night and night back to day. Orion lowered his gaze. I do not know how to change myself like that. Then let the world change you. The mirror placed a hand upon the forming sphere. Instantly the world turned. Not quickly, slowly, gently, like a breath being taken for the very first time. As it turned, Orion's beam of soft radiance slid across its surface. And the world lit up, first in a thin line, then in a sweeping glow, then in a moving wave of gold. Orion stared. That motion is because the world turned. The mirror nodded. Daylight, it whispered, is the dance between your gentled flame and the turning of the world. Orion felt his heart shift, a new rhythm forming within him. It is beautiful. And so are you, said the mirror gently. Now you must learn the second lesson. Orion straightened. What is the second lesson? Asterisk asterisk to dim without dying. Asterisk asterisk. Orion recoiled. I only know how to burn. How do I dim? The mirror pointed at the sphere. See what happens as the world continues to turn. The golden beam traced across the surface, then slid beyond it, and the world fell into shadow. Orion tensed. My light vanished. No, the mirror said. Your light moved. To create day, your brightness must travel. And for light to travel, it must leave darkness behind. Orion stared at the shadowed part of the world. So darkness is not my enemy. No, said the mirror. Darkness is what makes your return meaningful. Orion watched the sphere turn again. This time the wave of gold felt different, more intentional, more alive. A cycle, he whispered. Day, night, day again. Exactly, the mirror said. Daylight is you, but shaped, refined, balanced by what you are not. Orion turned toward the mirror. You are teaching me to become a creature of rhythm. Yes, the mirror said. And once you learn the final lesson, the world will know its first true day. What is the final lesson? The mirror stepped closer, its crystalline edges glowing softly. You must see yourself clearly, entirely, without fear. Orion's flame trembled. I saw myself earlier. No, the mirror whispered. You saw only your surface. To create a perfect dawn, you must confront the truth beneath your flames. Orion hesitated. What lies beneath me? The mirror met his gaze. Loneliness and longing, and the question you have carried since your first spark. What question? The mirror raised its luminous hand and pressed it gently to Orion's heart. Why am I the only light? Orion froze. That question birthed the mirror. It birthed me. The mirror nodded. And once you answer it, Orion, your light will finally know how to shine in harmony with the world. Orion stepped back, flames trembling like wind in golden grass. What must I do? The mirror smiled softly. You must look into me and see not only your brilliance, but your emptiness. Not only your flame, but your yearning. Not only your radiance, but your shadow. Orion swallowed. I do not know if I can bear that. You can, the mirror said, because you already dimmed yourself once, and the world did not end. Orion breathed deeply. Then show me. The mirror expanded, its form widening into a perfect, shimmering surface that reflected the golden god entirely. Orion stepped toward it, and the reflection began to change. His flames softened, his edges blurred, his brilliance dimmed, revealing not weakness, but shape, form, heart. Orion gasped. I look alive. You are, the mirror whispered, but you have never seen it. Orion reached toward his reflection. I am not just fire. No, said the mirror. You are purpose. Orion touched the surface, and light exploded, not with violence, but with clarity. Orion staggered, flames swirling around him like a storm of gold. What is happening? You are becoming the sun, the mirror said. Orion fell to his knees as his light reshaped itself, not dimmed, not lost, but focused. Your radiance has found its center, the mirror murmured. And now the world will know its first true daylight. Orion rose slowly, golden, steady, whole. What comes now? He whispered. The mirror smiled. Now we return to the world, and let day begin. Orion stepped out of the mirror's realm, and the world felt different. The shift was subtle at first, a soft tremble in the air, a shimmer in the golden fields, a quiet expectation rising like a held breath. But Orion felt it fully, in the core of his flame, in the rhythm of his radiance, in the new weight of his heart. He was no longer simply a being of endless light. He was a sun beginning to understand its purpose. The mirror stood beside him, crystalline and calm. "You have taken your first true shape," it whispered. "Now the world is ready." "Ready for what?" Orion asked softly. "For the moment that will define all moments," said the mirror. "The first rising of the sun." Orion's flames flickered with uncertainty. "I am afraid." "Good," the mirror replied. "Only those who fear their power can wield it wisely." Orion raised his gaze to the blank sky. It was still vast, pale and undefined, an endless canvas waiting for meaning. Orion extended a hand, and golden light flowed out in a controlled beam, not overwhelming, not blinding, balanced. The beam touched the horizon. The world shuddered. Colors that had never existed before trembled into life. Pale rose, soft amber, gentle gold. Orion gasped. "What is that? What have I made?" "You have created dawn," the mirror said. But dawn was only the beginning. Orion felt a pull, not from himself, but from the turning of the world beneath him. The world wanted light. It wanted to wake. It wanted direction. "Orion," whispered the mirror, "the world is calling you. It is time to rise." Orion inhaled, letting his flames draw inward. Then he rose, slowly, steadily, lifting above the glowing horizon, like a blossoming sphere of gold. The first sunrise. The world gasped. At least Orion imagined it did. The new dawn touched oceans he had never seen. It brushed mountains he did not know existed. It seeped into valleys where darkness had ruled since the beginning of time. Creatures blinked awake for the first time, confused by the gentleness of his glow. Rivers glittered like flowing metal. Leaves shone with dew that caught his light and threw tiny sparks across the air. Life stirred. Shapes shifted. The world became visible. And Orion understood something. To illuminate was not to dominate. It was to reveal. He dimmed himself slightly, enough that the world could breathe. "This," he whispered, "this is day." "Yes," said the mirror, watching from the edge of the horizon. "And only you could create it." But the moment of beauty did not last forever. From the far edge of the world, the darkness stirred, not angrily, not in jealousy, but in pain. The night's voice flowed across the sky, trembling with strain. "Orion, your light is strong. Too strong for the places not yet ready to receive it." Orion looked down. In low valleys and ancient forests, the light pooled too densely, melting shadows too abruptly. Creatures cowered, overwhelmed. Roots shrank from sudden heat. Rivers steamed at the edges. The world was bright, but unbalanced. The mirror placed a calming hand on Orion's arm. "This is why we practiced," it whispered. "Shape the light, soften it, make it move with intention." Orion steadied. "I will try." He closed his eyes, pulling his radiance inward, not extinguishing it, but giving it contour, and the world softened. The valleys dimmed, the rivers cooled, the forests breathed. Orion exhaled. The world exhaled. The night sighed with relief. "You have learned," it murmured. Orion smiled faintly. "I am learning." But the mirror's expression did not soften completely. "There is one more lesson," it said quietly. "The lesson that makes day possible." Orion turned. "What is that?" "The world needs day," the mirror said. "But it also needs something else." "What?" "Your departure." Orion's flames flickered. "My departure?" "Yes," the mirror said. "You must learn to leave the sky, to release the world into night again." Orion recoiled. "But why? I bring warmth and clarity. Life stirs under my light. Why must I leave?" The mirror touched the air, forming a small reflection of Orion, a perfect mimic of his radiance. In endless light, colors fade, shadows die, secrets wither. The world forgets how to dream. Orion hesitated. "And dreams matter?" The mirror smiled. "Without dreams, there would be no day to reveal them." Orion lowered his gaze. I do not know how to leave." "You do not leave," the mirror whispered. "You follow the world. Let it turn. Let your light fall." "Fall?" Orion echoed. "Is that not failure?" "It is balance." The mirror guided him gently. "As the world turns away from you, do not chase it. Do not cling to it. Allow yourself to set." Orion trembled. "What happens after I set?" "You rest," the mirror said, "and the night rises." Orion swallowed. "I am afraid of the dark." "That," said the mirror, "means you need to trust it." The world slowly rotated beneath him. Orion felt the pull of the horizon, a gentle tug, urging him downward. He resisted at first, flames trembling with instinct. But then he remembered: to dim without dying, to move without burning, to trust without seeing. He closed his golden eyes and let himself descend. The world darkened, slowly, smoothly, as the mirror touched the edge of the sky, calming the transition. Colors softened into twilight, creatures stilled, rivers reflected fading gold, mountains cooled, and then Orion slipped beneath the horizon. Night returned, but this night was not the same. It sparkled with remnants of dawn. It shimmered with reflections of light. It breathed, healed, expanded. The night whispered, "You trusted me." Orion spoke from beneath the earth's curve, his glow hidden but present. "I am learning to." "And I," said the night, "am learning to welcome you." The mirror's voice drifted softly across the cooling sky. "You have created day." Orion smiled unseen, and night welcomed it. "Yes," said the mirror, But the world needs one more thing. Something only you and I together can create. Orion felt his flame steady. What is it? The mirror answered. Asterisk asterisk sunrise's memory. Asterisk asterisk. What the world sees when you return. What the world hopes for when you depart. Orion felt wonder fill him. You mean color? The mirror's edges glowed. Yes, the colors of dawn, the hues of reflection, the palette that bridges you and the night. Orion breathed deeply. Teach me. The mirror extended a hand toward the horizon where the next dawn would rise. Let us shape daylight fully, together. Orion rested beneath the horizon, not extinguished, not diminished, simply waiting, like a heartbeat paused between two beats. Above him, the world cooled beneath the returning night. But this night was not like the old one. It was softer now, touched by the memory of dawn. Moment by moment, tiny glimmers shimmered across its vastness, echoes of golden light clinging to the sky like dust. The night exhaled slowly. You have changed me, it whispered. Orion's voice rose gently from beneath the earth's curve. And you welcomed me when I feared you. The night hummed with warm darkness. You trusted me. No sun has ever done that. Orion smiled unseen. No sun has ever existed before. The night's laughter rippled like velvet shadows. True. A soft glow formed at the edge of the world, not strong enough to be dawn, not bright enough to be day, a glow in its earliest breath. Orion stirred. Is it time? Not yet, said the night. Soon, but the mirror calls to you. Orion rose slightly, enough to cast a faint glimmer along the horizon. And there it was, the mirror, standing upon the thin line where dark met darkened gold. Its crystalline form shimmered in colors that did not yet exist. Orion emerged from the earth in a slow arc of light. The mirror bowed. Welcome back, Orion. Orion stepped forward, his radiance still gentle. What lesson remains? The final one, the mirror said. The lesson of color. Orion blinked. Color. Yes, the mirror said. The sky cannot remain plain gold. The world cannot awaken the same way every day. You must give the sky the gift of emotion. Orion tilted his head. Emotion. Yes, the mirror said again. Your light must paint the sky with feeling, with story, with memory. Orion paused. Light can feel. It always could, the mirror murmured. You simply did not know yourself yet. The mirror extended its hand. Look, Orion stepped beside it. Together, they gazed at the horizon as the night lifted its shadowed veil just slightly. The sky behind the veil was waiting, empty but eager, soft but ready for shape. Orion inhaled. Show me what to do. Reflect yourself, the mirror said. Orion raised his hand. Light gathered at his fingertips. Gentle, warm, hopeful. He pressed his palm to the mirror's surface. The mirror rippled, his crystalline body bending, splitting, refracting the golden glow into countless fragments. The fragments expanded across the horizon like ripples in a pond. Soft rose bled from the edges. Amber seeped into the gold. Lavender unfurled like breath. A faint blue shimmered in places where the mirror caught Orion's quieter thoughts. Orion gasped. "These are mine." "Yes," said the mirror. "These are your emotions, Orion. The parts of you that were invisible when your light was constant." The colors deepened as Orion grew aware of them. The rose brightened with the warmth of his hope. The lavender softened with his longing. The amber reflected his courage. The pale blue shimmered with his gentle fear of the unknown. Orion stared. "This is beautiful." "Yes," the mirror said softly. "This is the world's first sunrise of color." Orion felt something bloom inside him, like a flower opening in slow waves of heat. "I did not know I had this inside me." "Most beings don't," said the mirror, "until they see themselves truthfully." But as the colors strengthened, the night stirred uneasily. "Orion," it whispered, "your light is growing stronger. Take care. The world is still young." Orion dimmed himself slightly, and the colors adjusted, softening, cooling, balancing. The night exhaled. "Better." The mirror smiled. "You are learning harmony." As the first hints of day gathered behind the sky, Orion turned to the mirror. "What comes next?" The mirror lifted a crystalline hand and pointed toward the horizon. "The moment when color becomes day. The moment when you rise." Orion hesitated. "What if the world is not ready?" "It is," said the night. "And even if it isn't, it must learn as you did." Orion breathed deeply, drawing the new colors around him like a cloak. Then he rose, slowly, gracefully, allowing the world to see each new shade of him. The wilderness below erupted in murmurs of awe. Leaves shimmered like molten glass. Rivers blazed with ripples of color. Creatures lifted their heads, seeing sky for the first time. Even the stones glowed faintly, dreaming of warmth. The sky blossomed with a palette of light never before imagined. And the world's first true sunrise was born. Orion stood in the rising gold. The mirror smiled. "You have done it," it whispered. Orion turned toward it. "And what of you?" he asked. "Where do you belong when day begins?" The mirror's glow softened. "I belong everywhere your light meets shadow. I am the boundary, the balance, the reminder of who you are." Orion lowered his gaze. "Will I see you again?" "Every dawn," said the mirror. "Every time the sky paints your heart for the world." Orion felt warmth swell within him. Not heat, not fire, but gratitude. "Thank you," he whispered, "for showing me my colors." The mirror bowed. "Thank you," it replied, "for allowing yourself to be seen." The world brightened fully. Daylight swept across hills and forests. The night retreated gracefully, humming with acceptance. And the mirror faded back into the shimmering threshold, waiting for the next lesson, the next reflection, the next dawn. Orion shone in the sky, alive with color, alive with purpose, alive with the promise of all the days to come. The first sunrise had been born. But the story of daylight was only beginning. The world basked beneath the first true day. Forests shimmered with new warmth. Rivers sparkled like silver threads. Mountains glowed with quiet pride. And Orion, radiant, steady, golden, held the sky with newfound grace. Yet in the quiet places of the world, beneath roots and inside deep caverns, something began to stir. Not in anger, not in fear, but in hunger. A hunger for balance. A hunger for a place in the world that daylight had suddenly changed. Orion felt it before he understood it. A trembling in his flame, a pulse in the horizon. "Mirror," he called softly. "Something moves beneath me." The mirror appeared at the edge of the sunlight, crystalline and calm. "That is the fifth lesson," it whispered. "The lesson you have not yet faced." Orion frowned. "What lesson is that?" "The lesson of shadow." Orion recoiled. "Shadow? But I cast shadows now. Is that not enough?" "No," said the mirror gently. "A shadow is more than an absence of light. It is a response to light, a breathing part of the world. Something you created without meaning to." The sky cooled slightly around them as if listening. From the deep forests, a ripple of darkness rose. A shape, slow, heavy, ancient. Orion's flame flared uncertainly. "What is that?" The mirror's surface darkened at the edges. "That is your first shadow." It emerged fully now. A great silhouette made of soft darkness, shaped like Orion yet not solid. Its form shimmered like smoke caught within glass. Its edges curled like ink dropped into water. Orion stepped back. "It looks like me." "Yes," said the mirror, "because it was born from you." The shadow's voice drifted forward, soft as dusk. "Orion." Orion's flame trembled. "You can speak." The shadow nodded slowly. "I am every place your light cannot reach. I am every gentle darkness you created when you softened your flame. I am not night, and I am not you. I am the path between the two." Orion stared, fascinated and unsettled. "Why have you awakened?" "Because the world is changing," the shadow whispered. "And where there is day, there must be something to hold what day leaves behind." The mirror nodded. "Shadow must learn itself, just as light did." The shadow approached Orion. "Do not fear me," it murmured. "I do not seek to harm. I seek understanding." Orion tried to steady his flame. "What do you want to understand?" The shadow extended a gentle, curling hand. "What I am." Orion hesitated, then reached out his own golden hand. Their fingertips met. Light and shadow rippled outward. Orion gasped. He felt something through the shadow. Coolness, softness, weight, depth, emotions he had never known. "You feel different than night." "I am not night," the shadow replied. "Night is vast and old. I am new. I am shaped by you." "Then what are you?" The shadow smiled faintly. "I am shade, the one who gives your light meaning." Orion felt awe swell in his flame. "My light created you." "Not intentionally," Shade said softly, "but necessarily." The mirror stepped closer. Light cannot exist without darkness. Darkness cannot be understood without light. Day cannot rise without night. And shadow cannot breathe unless someone stands between the two. Shade turned fully toward Orion. And I am that someone. But the night suddenly trembled. Mirror, Orion. Something is happening. Orion looked across the sky. On the far horizon, colors stirred strangely. The delicate hues of dawn warped, bending, twisting slightly. Orion's flame tightened. What is that? The mirror's voice fell like a soft bell. Your light and your shadow were not meant to meet so directly, not yet. Shade stepped back, its form flickering. I feel unstable. Orion reached out. What do I do? Balance him, said the night urgently. Do not overwhelm him. Do not flood him with brightness. Orion dimmed carefully, deliberately. Shade steadied. I am calmer, it whispered. Orion exhaled in relief. What happened? The mirror turned toward him, its crystalline surface glowing with soft understanding. Light cannot shape shadow directly. It must shape the world, and let shadow rise naturally. So what must I do? Give shade a place to belong. Orion blinked. A place? Yes, the mirror said. Daylight rules the sky. Night rules the stars. Shade must rule the world beneath, the places where light and dark meet. Places that need gentleness, not brilliance. Shade lowered its head. I am meant to walk the world, Orion, not the sky, to teach creatures how to rest beneath the warmth you give, to guide them in your absence. Orion's flame flickered with new understanding. Shade smiled. No, I am your echo. Orion bowed his head. I accept you. Shade trembled, dissolving softly, then reforming stronger, steadier. I accept myself. The mirror lifted a hand. Day is nearly over. The world must learn the meaning of dusk. Orion's flame brightened with emotion. Dusk? Yes, said the mirror. A bridge between you and shade, between day and night. Shade stepped closer. Let me fall across the world before night rises. Let me soften your last light. Let me teach the world how to become still. Orion nodded slowly. I will trust you. Shade touched the horizon, and the world shifted. The golden sky deepened into rose. Amber softened into violet. Blue cooled into silver. Creatures quieted. Rivers slowed. The world breathed. The first dusk was born. Orion whispered, It's beautiful. Shade replied, It is your farewell and your promise. And night whispered, It is the moment when all things remember both of you. As twilight settled, Orion turned to the mirror. Is the lesson complete? The mirror's crystalline eyes glowed. No, only one lesson remains. Orion steadied. What is it? The mirror's voice softened to a whisper. You must teach the world how to wait for your return. Orion's flame flickered gently. And how do I do that? Shade and night both answered together. With the gift that belongs not to light, not to shadow, not to night, but to hope. Orion felt the truth enter him. So the final lesson is dawn's promise. The mirror bowed. And when you learn it, daylight will be complete. Night blanketed the world, soft, shimmering, peaceful. Shade walked gently through forests that had finally learned how to rest. Creatures curled beneath leaves. Rivers whispered dreams across their silver surfaces. Mountains settled into ancient stillness. Orion watched from the hidden curve beneath the world. He could not see the sky. He could not touch the world. He could only wait. And waiting was the hardest lesson he had ever learned. He felt the world turning above him. He felt the soft weight of darkness. He felt shade guiding the world through the quiet hours. But inside him, one question glowed. How will they know I will return? Mirror, Orion whispered, teach me the final lesson. The mirror appeared in the twilight beneath the horizon, glowing faintly, its body made of crystalline night and dawn. Orion, it murmured, light must return not by force, but by hope. Orion dimmed slightly. Hope. Yes, said the mirror. Dusk teaches the world to grow quiet. Night teaches it to dream. Shade teaches it to rest. But dawn teaches the world to rise. Orion trembled. And how do I teach dawn? The mirror stepped closer. You cannot command hope. You inspire it. Orion watched the sleeping world above him. How? By letting your light reach them before you do, the mirror whispered. Give the world a whisper of your return. A warmth that touches the heart before it touches the sky. A promise that the dark is never final. Orion understood, not with his mind, but with his flame. I must shape the first light of morning, he whispered, not with brilliance, but with softness. Yes, said the mirror, the first glow, the gentle warmth, the colors that bloom before you rise, these will teach the world to wait for you. Orion inhaled, and the horizon warmed. The night stirred. Orion, it whispered, your warmth rises. The world feels it. Shade lifted its head from the forest floor. He is returning. Creatures shifted in their sleep. Leaves brightened softly. Rivers glowed faintly as if waking from dreams. Orion felt their breaths, felt the world turning toward him, felt their quiet anticipation. They feel me, he whispered in awe, even before they see me. That, said the mirror gently, is hope. Orion focused. He let warmth rise. Not the heat of day, but the embrace of morning. He let color swirl. Not the brightness of noon, but the blush of dawn. He let his light bloom softly, growing like petals opening in slow motion. Rose spread across the sky. Lavender followed. Pale gold unfurled at the edges. A faint blue gathered like a held breath. Orion gasped at the beauty of it. These are my memories. Yes, said the mirror. Your heart has become the sky. The world felt the change. Owls blinked awake from gentle slumber. Wolves raised their heads in quiet greeting. Creatures of night paused, not afraid, but expectant. Shade stood at the boundary between forest and horizon. I feel his promise, Shade whispered. Night unfolded its vast cloak across the sky, not in retreat but in welcome. Then rise, Orion. The world is ready. Orion exhaled. His flame tightened, focused, glowing with the soft strength of a god who finally understood himself. He rose, softly at first, a trembling ember, a golden heartbeat, a memory of warmth. Then brighter, a circle forming, a glow expanding, presence lifting. And then the sun rose, not in a burst, not in a blaze, but in a bloom, like a flower opening into the sky, like a promise kept, like a homecoming. Light swept across the world, gentle at first, then certain, then full. The first true day, complete and harmonious, began. Creatures celebrated with soft cries. Rivers glittered. Forests stirred in new colors. Shade bowed, letting Orion pass overhead. Night dimmed with grace, carrying its dreams away. The mirror shone faintly, reflecting Orion with quiet pride. You have done it, said the mirror. You have created daylight, not as an endless blaze, but as a living cycle. Orion shone in warm triumph. I am not just light now, he whispered. I am beginning. I am return. I am promise. Yes, the mirror said. You are the sun. As day spread across the world, Orion looked to the horizon where night had retreated. Will night return to me? Yes, the mirror said. Night will always return, because your setting makes its dreams possible. And shade? Orion asked. He walks the world beneath you, said the mirror, guiding life through the hours when you fade. And you, the mirror's crystalline form shimmered. I am always where your light meets your reflection, in every sunrise, every sunset, every color the sky becomes. Orion's flame warmed with gratitude. I will not forget any of you. Night bowed from afar. Shade lowered its head in respect. The mirror smiled. And now the world is complete. Orion rose higher, golden, steady, gentle, casting the first full light of a world that finally understood day. Thank you for listening to Sleep with Myth.